Dad said, 80% to your sister, 20% to me. I chose 100% freedom. He didn't blink when he priced my life, 80 for her, 20 for him, and 0 for me. We were at the kitchen table. My pay stub lay between the salt shaker and my father's hand like evidence in a quiet trial. He tapped it once, gentle, like a pastor blessing an offering. Family first, he said. This is simple math. My sister breezed in, camera ready as always, perfume and plans. She didn't sit. She just scrolled and smiled at nothing. Dad's right, she said. It's not like you need much. You're single. I stared at the printout. Numbers I'd worked for. Weekends, late nights, training I paid for myself. And a second promotion I kept quiet. I didn't celebrate. I saved. Because this house ate money and never said thank you. I used to think it was my duty. Groceries, electricity, her textbooks, her taxi rides, her little emergencies that never ended. I became good at hiding the wins. Turned off email alerts, gave HR my personal address, stuffed pay letters in my backpack. I learned to smile and say, yeah, work is fine, then swipe my card behind closed doors so the fridge wouldn't be empty. But today, the backpack betrayed me. The stub slipped out when I hung it on the chair. He caught it midair like a magician. And now here we were, discussing my future like a menu price. 80% to your sister while she finds herself, Dad said. 20 to me for the house. For how long? I asked. He lifted his eyebrows. Until she's ready. My sister blew a kiss to her phone. Should be a few months, she said, as if months weren't years in disguise. Something old cracked in me. It didn't make a sound, but I felt the air change. I can help, I said, steady. But not like that. His jaw flexed. We're not negotiating. He slid a pen across the table. Transfer on the 1st of each month. Start tomorrow. What if I don't? He met my eyes, calm as a locked door. Then consider this house closed to you. My throat went dry, but my mind got clear. I looked at the stub. At my father's hand. At my sister's reflection in the dark window. I stood. Where are you going? Dad asked. I picked up my backpack. To choose my percentage. The clock in the hallway ticked. My sister finally looked up. Wait, she said. What does that mean? I smiled without joy, reached into my pocket, and set my spare key on the table. The metal rang like a small bell. Dad's voice dropped. Son. Final answer. The lights hummed. The house held its breath. And I said it. Not 90, not 80, not 20. I zipped the backpack. 100. His eyes hardened. 100 what? I opened the door. The night air felt like truth. 100% freedom. Behind me, his chair scraped the floor. Footsteps followed. Then my phone buzzed, an unknown number lighting the screen. I didn't answer. The unknown number buzzed again as I stepped into the night. I answered. Is this Mark? A woman asked. You toured the Crane Street studio last month. It just opened. If you can take it tonight, I'll waive the deposit. I looked back at the lit kitchen window, my father's silhouette frozen at the table. Text me the address, I said. I'll be there in 20. I moved like a heist team of one. Backpack. Laptop. A duffel of clothes already half-packed because I always felt halfway gone. I slid past the hallway photos, birthday cakes, forced smiles, my sister forking frosting into my mouth at 16 like we were adorable instead of uneven. In my head, receipts flipped like cards, rent, advances, that never returned, emergency, rides home at 2 a.m., the time I bought winter tires so Dad could drive her to a party safely. I'd turned loyalty into a quiet side job. My sister appeared at my doorframe, hair in a perfect wave. "You're actually leaving?" "I am." She scoffed. "You're dramatic." "Dad's plan makes sense. For you, it does." "Wow," she said, eyes shining, "so now you're judging me." "I'm just done funding the lesson." She crossed her arms. "You'll crawl back." I brushed past, duffel over my shoulder. Dad stepped into the hallway like a final checkpoint. His voice was steady. "If you step out with that bag, you step out of this family." I met his eyes. For years I would have swallowed that sentence whole. Tonight it tasted like a trick. Families don't charge admission. We stood there long enough to hear the clock tick 3 times. Then I walked. The studio smelled like fresh paint and new rules. One window. Bare bulb. A beat-up mattress in plastic leaned against the wall like a question mark. The landlord, a tired woman with kind eyes, handed me 2 keys on a blue tag. First month due Friday. Quiet hours after 10. No drama. No drama, I repeated, and hoped it could be true. After she left, quiet spread to the corners. I set my backpack down and heard how light it sounded. I changed the direct deposit info from my phone. New bank. New address. I turned off location sharing without a second thought and felt my chest loosen, like a knot finally surprised by a gentle hand. Relief and fear took turns breathing through me. I lay on the mattress plastic and listened to the heater kick on and off. For the first time in years, my money had one mouth to feed. At 1:13 a.m. Someone knocked on my new door, 3 soft taps, then silence. The third knock only stopped when I whispered, "Go away," and a voice whispered back, "Open up, or I'll call Dad." I knew that voice. My sister. I cracked the door. She slipped inside like a rumor, mascara perfect, cardigan thrown over a party dress. She glanced around the blank room, nose wrinkling at the mattress in plastic. "So this is your grand independence," she said. "Smells like a hardware store. How did you find me?" She lifted her phone. "You forgot I still had your location from last month's moving day. It pinged before you shut it off." She pocketed it. "You left him there. He's furious. He set a price on me," I said. "I couldn't afford it." She hugged herself, shivering though the room was warm. "You always make it sound cruel. It's just family logistics. Family logistics where I fund your experiments and call it love." Her mouth tightened. "You think I don't feel pressure? I'm trying to build something." "With what?" "My income." I said it softly, not as a knife but as a mirror. She looked away. "Dad says the mortgage is tight. He says you don't understand adult problems yet." I laughed once. "I've been paying them." She stepped closer. "He'll pull your phone line. The car insurance too. You're not ready to swim without the pool." "I already changed my plan on the way here," I said. "Swim meet start now." We stood in the yellow bulb light like 2 actors handed the wrong script. Her eyes softened for a second. "You're really not coming home?" "I am home." Silence held. Then she pulled a folded paper from her bag and set it on the windowsill. "A transfer schedule. If you follow it for 3 months, he'll be reasonable." I didn't touch it. "What's reasonable?" 80 and 20. She tried to smile. "Just for a while." I breathed in the scent of paint and a life that might finally fit. "No." Her chin trembled, then hardened. "You're selfish. I'm finished being invisible." She stared at the mattress again, the duffel, the bare walls. I could feel her building the story. I was ungrateful, she was the dreamer, Dad was the general keeping order. The story that always cast me as the silent funding. I'm leaving, she said finally, yanking open the door. But when things collapse, don't say we didn't warn you. They won't, I said. Not for me. The hall swallowed her footsteps. I locked the door and leaned my head against it. My hands shook, not from fear, but from the noise that follows a slammed boundary. It was loud and private, like thunder under skin. I lay back on the mattress plastic and stared at the ceiling until the room steadied. Somewhere between the heater's clicks, my phone buzzed again, this time with an email banner lighting the screen. Subject line, confidential, compensation adjustment approved. I sat up fast. HR had finally moved the second promotion through payroll. And right under that email, a text from an unknown international number blinked to life. Mark, it's Mom. Call me now. Are you proud of this? Mom's voice crossed 2 time zones and sat me back in a child's chair. It's late, Mom. It's morning here, she said. Your father called. He says you walked out with a bag and a speech. Is that true? I stared at the blank wall. It's true. Her breath came through the line, thin and fast, the way it sounded when she cleaned too hard and forgot to open a window. We are a family, Mark. Families share. Your sister is at an important stage. Your father holds the house together. You know this. I've been holding it too, I said. Helping is not the same as leaving. I didn't leave. I moved out of a rule that kept shrinking me. She went quiet, then softened. Your sister just needs a runway. She's creative. She's funded, I said, calm. By me. Don't speak like an accountant, Mom snapped, then sighed. I didn't raise you to count pennies. No, I said, you raised me to count on myself. Another silence, heavier now. Your father says you hid a promotion. That you're keeping secrets. I hid it because every raise turned into a new invoice from home. That's unkind, Mark. What's unkind is calling my paycheck community property. She pressed the point like a finger on a bruise. Send the transfers for a few months. 80 to your sister, 20 to the house. Then we talk. Those numbers don't describe love, I said. They describe control. Outside, a truck rumbled. I moved to the window. Down on the street, orange strobes flared against the brick. A tow rig reversed toward the curb, toward my car. Mom, I said slowly, did Dad touch the car registration? He is the owner on paper, she said, wary. Better insurance that way. The driver hopped out, clipboard in hand. He checked my plate, looped the hook. My ribs tightened. Mom, they're taking the car. Then go home and fix it, she said. Be reasonable. My phone pinged, a new text sliding over her voice. From Dad, return the keys. Sign the schedule. I'll release the car. I closed my eyes. The engine's winch whined. Metal lifted like a threat that smiled. Mark? Mom asked. Are you listening? I am, I said, watching my ride rise into the air. And I'm choosing. Choosing what? Not to rent my life back with signatures. The driver glanced up at my window, then tapped his watch, as if time itself belonged to their clipboard. Mom, I have to go, I said. You'll call your father. I'll handle it, I said, and ended the call before my resolve thinned. I grabbed my jacket and the spare key I'd hidden in the duffel. The hallway felt colder than before, the kind of cold that tries to scare you back inside. I kept walking. At the curb, the driver looked bored. Owner requested pickup, he said. Wanna save storage fees? There's one way. He held out the clipboard. A name waited on the line. My father's. Sir, the driver asked. We doing this? I took the pen. My hand hovered over the place where I could surrender this fight in one stroke. And then my phone rang again, international number, same one as before. Mom. Calling back. Only this time, her first words weren't guilt. They were 5 tight syllables that changed the temperature of the night. Mark. I just fainted. I just fainted, Mom whispered, and I could hear wheels clatter, voices echo, a chair sliding. I'm on the kitchen floor. It went black. The tow driver lifted the clipboard again. Sir. I lowered the pen. Take the car, I said. I'm not signing anything. He shrugged, hooked the axle, and the winch sang. Let it go, I told myself. Choose the person, not the paperwork. Mom, stay on the line, I said. Can you talk? Are you alone? I'm okay now. Dizzy. I put her on speaker and called emergency services with my other thumb. The operator's voice was calm, practiced. I gave the address, the gate code, the detail about her dizziness starting after standing up too quickly. I also called her neighbor, Mrs. Valenti, who keeps a spare key and a suspiciously accurate clock on everyone's life. I'm going now, the neighbor said. Door in 2 minutes. The tow truck eased away with my car like nothing precious was happening. I let it fade. I was done buying peace with signatures. Mom, you'll hear the door. It's Mrs. Valenti. Mark, she said softly, why are you doing this from, where are you? Close enough to help. Siren swelled faint, then nearer. Footsteps. A knock. The neighbor's voice. Paramedics entered, their questions were simple, specific. Age, symptoms, medications. I listened, heart thudding, and answered when she couldn't. Then the paramedic asked, do you have health coverage information? I did. I knew the number by heart. Policy ending in 741, I said. Primary, Mark. A beat. Noted. They lifted her gently. Mom tried to protest. I'm fine. It's precaution, the medic said. Short tests. On the curb, cold crept into my sleeves. My phone vibrated, Dad. I picked up. You made your point, he said, voice clipped. Bring the keys back and we'll sort your mother. She's already on the way to the clinic. His paws crackled. With what coverage? Don't pretend you can afford. It's taken care of. You're bluffing. Check, I said. He exhaled through his nose, the way he does when a trick doesn't work. You can still stop this, Mark. Sign the schedule. Bring the keys. We'll welcome you home. I am home, I said, and ended the call. The clinic phoned minutes later. This is intake, a woman said. Your mother's stable but needs labs. We need consent from the policyholder. I'm the policyholder, I said. Proceed. A rustle of paper. Thank you. Also, your father just arrived. He's insisting there is no coverage. I stared at the blank window of my studio across the street, my silhouette faint in the glass. Look at the name on the policy. More rustling. Then the woman's voice, warmer. Understood. The hold music clicked on for signatures. My hands finally stopped shaking. Another call came in while I waited, unknown number, local. I answered. Mr. Hale. This is Raphael from Crane Street Security. Your unit door is ajar and a man is knocking. He says he's your father. I turned, every muscle going still. Don't let him in, I said. I'm on my way. Raphael met me at the lobby desk. He's been knocking for 10 minutes, he said. Rules say we need your okay. My okay is no, I said. We rode the elevator anyway, me, Raphael, and a silence that felt like a held breath. On the 4th floor, Dad stood by my door with his arms folded, the blue tag key I'd just received turning in his fingers like he already owned it. "Open it," he said. "I won't," I said, and stepped between him and the lock. Raphael cleared his throat. "Sir, residents decide entry. That's policy." Dad smiled at him like a man offering a handshake he didn't mean. "That's my son. We're resolving a family misunderstanding." "It's resolved," I said. "You priced me out of your house." I moved. He studied my face, searching for the old version of me, the one who'd bend. "You're upset." "Understandable." "I'm finished," I said. "Not upset." He leaned in. Lowered his voice. "The clinic called me," he said. "They say there's coverage under your name." "What are you doing?" "Making sure Mom gets care." "With what money?" "Mine." His jaw ticked. "How long?" "For years," I said. Something flickered across his eyes, surprise, then offense, then calculation. "Without telling me. You never asked what I did besides pay the bills." He glanced at Raphael, irritated by the witness, then back to me. "If you could do that, you can manage the schedule." "No," I said. "Those numbers are a leash." 80 to your sister," he pressed. 20 to the house. 3 months. It's not cruel. It's structure. It's control dressed as structure, I said. "I won't sign." He lifted a manila envelope. "Then you won't need this." He tapped it. "Registration and insurance notices. Your car stays in storage until you come to your senses." Raphael shifted, uncomfortable. "Sir, this building doesn't allow threats." Dad's smile went thin. "It's not a threat. It's math." "I know math," I said. "And I cancelled the spare key you kept." He blinked. "What key?" "The one under your authority in every part of my life," I said. "It doesn't work here." For a moment, the hallway buzzed with nothing but lights. He took a small step back, measuring the new border I'd drawn. "You'll change your mind," he said. "You always do." "Not this time." He placed the envelope on the floor like he was setting bait, then straightened his jacket. "Your mother will hear what you've done." "She already did," I said. "She also heard the paramedic ask for a policy number." He hesitated, then left, footsteps loud, like exit music. Raphael exhaled. "You okay?" "I will be." I unlocked my door, slid inside, and let the quiet wrap around me. The envelope stared from the hall like a waiting mouth. I left it there. My phone rang. "Clinic. Mr. Hale. We have initial labs. Your mother's stable, but her iron is very low. We recommend a short stay. There is one more form, financial responsibility, that needs your signature in person." "I'll come now," I said. "And, your father is here, asking to handle it," the nurse added. "Should we wait?" I looked at the empty hall, at the envelope I refused to touch, at the life I was finally building. "Don't wait," I said. "I'm 15 minutes away." I grabbed my jacket. Then another call lit the screen. Mom. Mom didn't ask if I'd eaten or slept. Her first words were, "Why did you put my name on insurance without telling me?" I was already jogging toward the clinic doors. "Because someone had to." "I have a husband," she said, a soft edge over steel. "You have me too," I said. "You always have." Silence. I could hear hospital wheels and a printer spitting labels. "How long?" she asked. "For years." Another silence, this one heavier, like a chair being set down carefully. "With your father's pride," she said, "you know what this looks like." "Like care," I said. "Paid on time." I found her in an exam room reclined on a narrow bed, a pulse clip glowing red on her finger. She looked smaller without her earrings, younger without her lipstick. When she saw me, her face did three things: relief, worry, and then a careful mask I'd known since childhood. "You kept this from us," she said. "You kept a scoreboard on my paychecks," I said quietly. "I didn't want my help turned into a receipt you could wave at me." Her eyes blinked fast. "We didn't wave. You did tonight," I said. 80 to her. 20 to him. 0 to me. A nurse stepped in with a clipboard and a gentle voice. "Mrs. Hale, iron infusion and observation. Mr. Hale, signature here as policyholder." Mom stared at the form like it was a confession. "Policyholder," she repeated. I signed. The pen felt heavy and right. The door swung wider. "Dad." He filled the threshold, all posture and certainty. "We'll take it from here," he told the nurse. She glanced at the paper. "Consent's already signed." He smiled without humor. "By a child who is forgetting his place." "By the adult paying the bill," I said. Mom's voice cut through the room, clear as a bell. "Enough." We all stopped. She turned to Dad. "Did you know he paid for this?" "For years." Dad's jaw worked. "He hid it. He covered me," she said. "That's what I see." Color rose at his collar. "He's destabilizing the family. He left. He refuses structure." I stepped closer to Mom. "I refuse a leash." Her eyes moved between us, taking in the math we kept trying to do with each other's lives. Then she touched my wrist, a touch from a long time ago. "Thank you," she said. Two words that found a place in my chest and sat there, warm. Dad's voice flattened. "And the house? The rent is due in 10 days. Your sister's deadlines are tight. We need your transfer by the 1st. "I'm not transferring," I said. "I'm helping Mom. Not bankrolls and parties." He lowered his voice until it was almost kind. "You'll come back, sign, and this will calm down." Mom looked at me, then at him. "Maybe it should not calm down," she said softly. "Maybe it should change." The nurse returned with the 4 kit. "We'll start now," she said. 1 hour, then we recheck. Dad stepped back, stung. "If you walk away from us, Mark, don't be surprised when real life walks away from you." I exhaled. Real life just walked toward me. The nurse taped the line to Mom's arm. Beep, beep, a steady stream of truth. My phone buzzed on the metal tray. A new email previewed in a bright bar. Unit 3B, lease renewal denied/balance owed. Dad's eyes flicked to the screen, then to me. I opened it. Lines and numbers. Dates. A phrase that burned even though I'd stopped funding their fire. Final notice before eviction. I looked up at Dad. He smiled like a man who had just found a new lever. "Now," he said, "what's your plan?" The word sat in bold like a threat with teeth: eviction. Dad folded his arms. "You see the stakes. Transfer the money. Today." I kept my voice even. "I'm covering Mom's care. I won't fund parties and late fees." His look said I'd just spoken treason. "This isn't about parties. It's about family survival." "Then we survive by changing the pattern," I said. "Budget. Cut extras. And she," I nodded toward the door, meaning my sister, "starts earning." He scoffed. "She's building her brand." "Great. Brands can have jobs." Mom watched us, for beeping a steady metronome. "The house payment," she whispered. "Is there another way?" "There is," I said. I pulled out my notebook. I ran the numbers. "If the house pauses cable, sells the second car, and your brand takes a 3-day cashier job, you're solvent in 6 weeks. I can float groceries for 1 month. That's it. Dad stared like I'd spoken a new language. You're enjoying this. Holding us hostage with spreadsheets. I'm holding a boundary, I said. You taught me to keep promises. I'm keeping mine to myself. Mom reached for my hand. Let him try, she told Dad. I'm tired of the old math. He shook his head. You won't last a week without me. I met his eyes. We already did 4 years. Silence. Then his phone buzzed. He glanced down, face tightening. Bank, he said. They want a plan by Monday. Good, I said. Here's the plan. I slid the notebook across. He didn't touch it. Pick, I said quietly. Budget with me, or bleed me. One of those ends tonight. The door opened. My sister stepped in, sunglasses on indoors, like armor. Dad, she said, ignoring me, my chute fell through. Can you spot me for rent? Dad pointed at me without looking away. Ask your brother. She turned, slow, like a storm choosing a direction. So, Mark? Hero or villain? I stuffed the notebook back into my bag. Neither. Just done. Her smile went thin. Then I guess we all fall together. Or, I said, standing, we grow up together. My phone vibrated. A new message slid onto the screen. Unknown number, Mark Hale. We reviewed your resume. Are you available to interview a candidate for our entry-level role? Referral listed you. I blinked. Referral? And then I saw the name the recruiter attached under candidate. My sister. The recruiter's email blinked again. Candidate, Lena Hale. Referral, my name. I called. Conflict of interest, I said. She's my sister. Understood, the recruiter replied. You can still run a preliminary screen. Standard form. No favoritism. Then it's purely professional, I said. No family rescue. I texted Lena. Me, screen at 5 p.m., Crossline offices. Be on time. Portfolio. Resume. No dad. Lena, relax, boss. Me, this is work. Treat it like work. At 4:59 she slid into the lobby, sunglasses off, hair in a simple bun I'd never seen. She looked serious. We sat in a glass room. I hit record per policy. Tell me about a time you finished without help. She blinked, then squared up. I shot a product line with no budget. I borrowed lights, learned color grading at 2 a.m., delivered on time. Client reordered. Metrics. Engagement up 41%. Sales up, modest, but real. Why this role? Because building a brand without income is just a dream, she said quietly. I need discipline. I kept my face neutral. Biggest weakness? I expect shortcuts, she said. I'm done expecting them. We moved through tasks, sample brief, mock caption, a quick photo edit on my laptop. She worked. Not perfect. But no flinching. My phone buzzed, clinic, infusion complete. Stable. Discharge in the morning. A breath I didn't know I was holding finally let go. Lena saw the screen. Mom okay? She will be. She nodded. Good. I closed my notebook. Here's the truth. Entry-level pay. Real hours. Feedback that stings sometimes. You'll report to someone who isn't me. If you're late, you're out. If you ask me for money, you're out. She swallowed. I can do that. One more, I said. At home, budget with Dad. No more hidden bills. I won't be your safety net. Her eyes shone, not with tears, but with a kind of humility I'd never seen. Okay. I stood. I'll recommend a full interview. She didn't move. There's something else, she said, voice small. If I take this job. Dad says I lose the room. I waited. She lifted her chin. Can I stay with you? 1 month. I'll pay. I'll follow your rules. The word eviction echoed from that email like a warning bell. I met her eyes. Here are my terms, I said, and slid a key across the table. She stared at it, frozen. Do you take them? Here are my terms, I said. 1 month trial. Half the rent. Groceries split. No borrowing. No guests the first month. Job or training daily. Sunday budget check. If you're late, the key comes back. Lena looked at the key like it might burn. Then she nodded. I accept. She set a small envelope on the table. Cash. First week. I emailed the recruiter, recommend full interview. No special treatment. Reply came fast, tomorrow, 10 a.m. My phone rang, Dad. I hit speaker. Return home, he said. Sign the schedule. We fix this. New schedule, I answered. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., kitchen table. Budget with receipts. Cable paused. Second car listed. Lena working. I'll float groceries 1 month. That's it. You don't dictate. Mom's voice broke in, steady now. I'll be there at 6. Silence. Then the line went dead. Morning, I picked Mom up. She looked fragile and fierce at once. In the car she whispered, I'm sorry we spent your wins like they were ours. You get to heal, I said. We'll learn the rest. She squeezed my hand. Thank you for 4 years I didn't know I had. Back at the studio, Lena rolled a small suitcase in. She placed her schedule on the counter. No perfume cloud. No sunglasses armor. Just a calendar with boxes she meant to fill. A knock. I opened to find Dad holding a folder and 2 paper bags of groceries. He lifted the old house key, tried the lock, no go, and slipped it back into his pocket. His eyes searched the bare room, then landed on the calendar, on Lena's envelope, on Mom sitting at the tiny table with tea. He set the groceries down. Let's do the math. I nodded and pulled out chairs. We already started. He didn't blink. For once, neither did I. I chose 100% freedom. And for the first time, everyone else chose their percentage, too.